Hello and welcome to No There's Only Trash Here podcast, episode 74. The date today is the 1st of March 2015. So last week, I was a little tired, a little sleepy, got a bit silly, a bit all over the place, a bit incoherent you could argue. And this week, somebody else is a little bit tired, so I'm excited.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
I'm tired. Although, it's March.
Yep, it is March.
It's March now. I didn't realise it was March today.
Yeah, it's 28th yesterday, so the first today. That's how those calendars work.
That crazy February.
Was it crazy?
Oh, only because, 28, 29, who's to say? Who knows?
We do know. It's a leap year. This isn't like a thing that they're still figuring out. The Romans, they nailed it, and we just do it now.
Oh,
like
okay.
How they did it.
It's March already, and that's there.
I know, we're almost hitting Smarch, and that's going to be crazy.
Oh, I was waiting for Smarch. Anyway, can I say something first?
No, that's not what this podcast is really about.
All right, you say your thing then.
What's up with it being March already?
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to say my thing because it's sort of related to the podcast.
Oh, well, that's good news.
Well, only one part of the podcast, and that is the beginning. Okay, so your intro music is what?
The title music for Time Splitters 2?
Bingo!
Nailed it.
And, well, there's my little story to tell. Back in... I'll have to quickly switch tabs, hang on. Alright, there. Back in November, I'll give you an exact date. 17th of November.
Okay.
So this was maybe just as I was starting Time Splitters 2 Let's Play, or maybe a few episodes in. Oh. Either way, before I started doing the Let's Play, I'd done a little bit of research, finding out about the game, blah, 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 stuff you can say during the Let's Play, as you do. And one of the things I came across was the composer for the songs, Graham Norgate, his own personal website, where he sells like the albums from the game, the soundtracks and things. And on that website was an email address. And he said like, I always enjoy getting messages, and I'll try to reply if you want to send an email. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to send him an email. I'm just going to say, I'll briefly, I won't say the whole message because it's a bit long, but I just kind of said, I really like Time Splitters 2. It was a staple of my childhood. The music was really good. So thank you, right? Just a nice little message to make him feel good, yeah.
And to get a little LP plug in there, I know the background behind that.
I did not put a single link in. No link.
You did say, "Hey, I'm MrMuckluckable," but you knew that already.
Well, I think that probably came up on the email anyway because that's my email name. So
right.
Unless he was like, "Who is this guy?" and YouTubed me anyway. So I sent that, and not particularly expecting a reply, because he did say, it takes a while. He's probably a busy man. But I got one back a week ago. I got one back, and it says this. Very short and sweet, so I'm fine with that. It says, "Hi Joe, thank you for your email. I'm always happy to hear when people like my stuff. Just the other week I was talking about music for games on the subject of interactivity versus old school tunes that just repeats. By today's standards, Time Splitters 2 is outdated and not the done thing, but people sure did enjoy the music. Thanks again, Joe. Graham."
Oh.
That's nice, talking about, I guess he means music that responds to the player.
Yeah, I think I would assume he means that it's... Like with Time Splitters 2, it's a case of you load up the level and you get the level music.
Yeah.
But with games nowadays, it's when you walk into a room...
It's dynamic.
Change. Yeah, it just changes as you go.
But yeah, there you go. Nice little message there to the guy that made that music you just heard. Well, probably about 5 minutes ago now, but still. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah. I think the majority of these sort of guys are very open, Although I think it's a very direct way of like communicating with someone, sending them an email. And then I guess it's so easy to send it back, and if they're nice guys, then they'll just send you one back. I think like a lot of people are like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think he does lots of things on Twitter as well. So he's quite... In fact, he tweeted just today about someone who does all these drum covers of GoldenEye songs. So it's definitely interacting with the fans and stuff. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
There you go. That's it. That's my story over.
Well, that's nice.
It is nice.
Because he did a good job. He's a good lad.
Yeah, it is a good one, that Graham.
Props.
He'll be going places, I tell you.
He's definitely hasn't peaked. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. I mean, I have no clue what he's doing now, but that's beside the point.
Because it's in the works. It's fine.
Yeah.
Email him again. Ask him what he's doing with his life.
Maybe he want to. Maybe I could give him a shout out.
What? What do you mean?
Maybe he wants to do a video. There you go.
Oh, right.
Be like, Graham, do you want
You and Graham play Destiny. Is that what's going on here?
Well, I didn't want to do it in public, but I think you're out.
No.
Yeah.
I can change.
No, you're off. You're off the
I
team.
can let you do most of the work.
No.
I'd be like, oh, Joe, you're so cool at Destiny. Can you please show me your techniques? And you'll be like, no.
Like I didn't want to air my dirty laundry in public, but you've just brought it out of me. I'm sorry I had to do that.
Well, that's fine. That is fine.
Okay, good.
I always kind of thought about doing that, though, with, like, the podcast. Because, of course, special guests is a big part. But it's quite a bold step to actually email someone and ask them. And we're, like, nowhere near big enough where we could do it. But in general, I think people are just, like, very open. So once we hit those 100 subs, here we go.
Well, who would you even ask? It's like...
I don't know. There's so many people.
Would they have to do their own... Would it be, like, podcast-related people? Or would it just be other Let's Players or what?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it that extensively. It's just... It'll be nice to have a ton of different people on the podcast. That would just be cool. Just a cool thing to do. Because there's, like, this Canadian guy that comes on, but it's not really working out. I mean, it's not... It hasn't been going well, so I'm thinking about ditching him, but just keep that under your hat, you know. And there's some British guy who's just always tired, and it's just like no commitment at all. So
you don't want him.
No,
that doesn't sound like a good podcast to me.
Just rambling on about, I don't know, some email he sent like it's a big deal. So it's just not working out at all.
Okay, well, tell me when you get a new guy.
Yeah, I will.
I'll be interested to listen.
Yeah, see how the new guy handles the role.
Yeah.
See if they, like, interrupt me when I want to ramble about Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the test. That's the audition.
The Spider-Man test.
Yes.
That's rough. That's a bit rough.
Yeah, it's you have to put them through their... Well, I don't know what I'm saying.
Paces?
Paces? Is that the... Yeah.
That's a saying.
Throw them in at the deep end. Let's go with that one.
Drown them.
Drown them, basically. Drown them.
Cool. Well, let's move on.
To what?
Oh, damn it.
What? We've got nothing.
Listen, alright, there are video games. Sweating a little bit. What's going on with those video games? Right? I just need
nothing.
to have some water.
Okay, calm down.
This is going well.
Yeah.
Well, I have been playing a video game, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, I got a copy of The Order.
I noticed, yeah.
Yeah, we spent like 20 minutes talking about the game last week, and then none of us actually played it at all.
No.
So I don't know how we did that. I think it just became more a discussion about AAA gaming and hype and what, you know, I think it became more of a general discussion. But I have actually played the game, and I'm playing through it at the moment, so I can actually talk about if it's any good or not.
Okay.
It's not very good.
Oh.
I don't like it.
You don't like it, or it's just not as good as you thought?
No, it's just a
you
bit...
actively don't like it?
It's boring.
It's boring.
It's really boring. So, basically what it is, it's like third-person shooter kind of deal, but the whole thing that they go for is like a cinematic sort of edge, which the big, you know, indicator of that is the letterboxing and all that kind of stuff. So it tries to like naturally go into gameplay and cutscenes, so all the cutscenes are actually in-game stuff, and it looks incredible, like the character models and the settings and everything like that. It, you know, I'm not saying anything original here when I say it does look awesome, and it is really cool to see cutscenes looking so good, and then the gameplay also looking as good. That is kind of pretty awesome, but they seem to try and remove gameplay and streamline it to the point where there's like very little gameplay in there. So it tries to like merge in cutscenes and gameplay by having like quick time events, but it more actively tries to merge the two. Like normally with quick time events, it's just like, oh, in a random cutscene, just press this button and away you go. But with this one, it does try to more actively blend them together. But it just makes it more like confusing. Because what it will be is that you're just sitting there, or you're just like walking along, you'll get like a small cutscene, and then you kind of just go back into the gameplay. You know, not much will happen in the cutscene, maybe a quick like dialogue bit, and then you go back into it, and then you like go, like you do a bit of gameplay stuff or walk around, and then you go into another cutscene, and then randomly it will just make you like press R1 or X or something like that. Like there doesn't seem to be that much logic. Bloody hell, logic.
I'm the
that's
tired
the
one, alright?
I know, logit is not a word. Logic. I don't know why that tripped me up so much, but...
Super Nintendo Charmers?
Yeah, pretty much. Right. What was I saying there? So, logic.
There was no logic, come on.
Yeah, there's not much logit here. I mean, that's the major problem. Yeah, so it just like seems to randomly make you do stuff that in another cutscene your character would just do. So you might, I'm trying to think of an example, but there's just times where it's like sometimes he will just do stuff himself in the cutscene. Other times it will just randomly come up with a prompt and you have to do it yourself. But
Can
then
I
you're
ask
not
a question?
really. Yeah, go on.
I'm raising my hand. What happens if you don't do it?
Then you just gotta sit around. Like, there are cutscene or quick time events where you die.
Yeah.
But then
like,
otherwise you just kind of, you're just there until you press it.
So it's not, okay, alright, fine, fair enough.
So it's just kind of like, there's no, they try and create this flow, and it's not that the game doesn't flow, it just doesn't seem that, like it's trying so hard to be an interactive cinematic experience that it just doesn't have proper gameplay stuff in there. And it does the bloody thing that I hate in games, and it seems to become more commonplace, where it will control your running speed throughout. So you have sections where you're in combat, so you can run, or like naturally just walking makes you jog, and then you can hold in the stick to run. But then you'll have other sections where you're just looking around and your normal running speed will be really slow. And then sometimes in these sections you can run, so you can do like a brisk walk, and sometimes you just can't. So it's really weird because it's trying so hard to be immersive and cinematic and all that good stuff. But I find it really immersion breaking when it just repeatedly changes your running speed. Because in like a game where it's presenting its like own universe that you're interested in, it should allow the player to explore the world at their own pace. So you should be able to run around checking stuff out. You should be in control. Like you're taking over an avatar. You want to feel like you are that avatar and be immersed in the world by looking around and by being able to control that character properly. But if you have the running speed consistently change, then it doesn't feel like you're actually really in control. And then when you put this on top of the quick time events as well, and all the weird kind of random just push this button for no reason, like on the screen stuff, it just feels, it's just not immersive at all. Like it looks great, it's a really great looking game, but it's not immersive because you don't feel like you're in control. There's no real rules, there's not enough consistency, there's not enough to it. And then on top of this, the actual shooting is dull. It's not intense like The Last of Us, and it's not fun like Gears of War. It's just a bit, you'll come to an area, you gotta hide behind something, and then you just kind of pop out, shoot some guys, hide again, pop out. Like there's just a ton of sections where with a third person shooter, or just shooters in general, I think a really good way of designing the part where you're fighting enemies is that you're at one part of the map, you're trying to get to somewhere, there's like a clear objective in the distance, but you can't get there because of the enemies, because they would kill you. So you need to fight your way through the enemies to get to that objective. I think that's a pretty good way of doing things. But what the Order does is that it will just throw you in a situation where you just get behind cover, and then all you got to do is just hide and shoot for a bit until they're all gone. And then it does the thing of having enemies respawn. Like, there's not infinite amount of enemies, but it'll be a case of, right, you hide behind cover in an area, you shoot all the guys, and then, like, the exact same enemies then just walk through a door, and you just gotta do it again. Like, it's not really engaging, you're not really doing anything, you're just popping out behind cover. But, like something with other third-person shooters and first-person shooters, it'll be like, okay, I've got to get over there, so I'll kill this guy, and this guy, so I can jump to the next bit of cover, then I'll kill these ones, then I can go round if I want, like a dynamic battlefield, where you can just plan your own routes, things like that. But the Order is just pop up, shoot, pop down again, which just isn't interesting. I've mentioned before how I don't like third-person shooters in general, or how boring they can become, and that's because of that. It's because of this exact thing that the Order does, which is you're not doing anything interesting, you're not thinking, you're not being tactical, you're just popping up, shooting and getting behind. And because it's regenerating health as well, you don't really have to care about that. Once you get behind cover, you're fine. So you're just behind cover and pop out and that's it. And then if you get shot too much, you just wait. It's just really bland. Just not that interesting at all.
This sounds worse than Uncharted.
It sounds... At
least Uncharted had a destination, like you say.
Yeah, that's how you would usually do it with these sort of stuff, but the Order just doesn't.
Good lord. I have another question.
Yeah, sure.
So you say it's not very immersive because of the constant changing of cutscenes and stuff. Does that immersion, or lack of it, affect... Is it still cinematic, as in, is the storyline any good?
Well, I haven't...
Can you follow it?
I'm on, like, chapter whatever. You can definitely follow it, but I don't think they made the most of it from what I've seen so far. Like, they don't really explain the world that well. You're just kind of thrown into it, which is fair enough. That's a pretty decent way to get people, like, intrigued about the world. But I don't think it's that interesting the way they kind of present it. It's just kind of like, there's no, like, one definitive thing that is different about this timeline. There's just a load of kind of different things that just seem to be changed just so they could do things in a particular way, rather than an actual alternative history that is built off from a few things being different. So you have people that I think live for, like, centuries, like they're hundreds of years old, and then they have, like, this little water that they can drink that heals them, and then there's, like, lichens as well, werewolf people, and then there's just other things in that, like, there's inventors, like, Tesla is working with you for some reason, and then you have, like, technology stuff that doesn't really add up at all, where it's a lot more advanced, but it looks Victorian, which...
Steampunk.
Yeah, steampunk, which separately they all sound fine, but when they just kind of throw them all together and you just kind of have to swallow it, it's not really a case of, I want to know more about this world. It just seems to be a case of, here's how it is, here's all the things that we wanted to do, away you go. So it's not really that. It's kind of a cool concept, just kind of poorly handled. Because I think that's, like, the best way to do it, where you just say, right, like, I don't know, 500 years ago, this happened, and it changed history. It's a bit like Attack on Titan. I'm assuming you haven't seen the show?
No.
Okay, well, it's a pretty popular anime, but what they did is that it's meant to be like an alternative history, although it's not strongly tied into our world or anything, but it's still kind of based on it, where at some point these creatures called the Titans, who are just massive humans, but all they do is, like, want to eat humans, just show up. And then to respond to this, they then build these massive walls. And then also to respond to the Titans, they invent, like, this device that they can use to attach to walls and then, like, string themselves up, like, so they can not hover or anything, but they can, like, repel or attract themselves using, like, wires and using air compression or whatever. It's all like something happened, and then humanity changed to respond to it, so now it's a wall city where everyone's confined, and then they have all these different kind of techniques for taking down Titans, which is why technology is different. That's pretty interesting. That's, like, a good way of doing it. But with the Order, it doesn't seem to be like that. I kind of assumed that it was a case of the lichens showed up, so then that's why technology is different to respond to it, and in this world things are just a bit different. But it's not presented like that. It's all just like, here it all is. So maybe the storyline is building to a big twist reveal where it kind of reveals everything and say, this is what was really going on. The Order, whoa, they're the bad guys, they actually created the light, something like that. Maybe that's what it's building to, and I can't say for sure that it's not doing that until I actually beat it. But at this point, it's just like, I don't actually really have a reason to care about this world and the characters, because it centers around 4 characters, and you play as one of them. You play as Galahad, who has 0 personality, and then you got the woman who's like strong and doesn't take guff, and then you got
strong,
the French
independent black woman.
No, she's not black,
but she's a strong, independent woman. Doesn't need no man.
Yeah, although she's in like a relationship with Galahad or something.
She needs a man.
Yeah, sometimes. And then there's like a Frenchman, but he likes the ladies. You watch out, he's always chatting to the ladies, trying to, get his end away.
Give them cheese and wine?
No, not that much cheese and wine.
And
just
baguette?
He hasn't had a baguette yet.
And onions on his neck?
No, no onions. Just a womanizer of sorts.
Beret?
No, no beret.
Okay, I'll stop.
But yeah, so it's like they're not like just blatant stereotypes, but they're also not interesting characters. So it's not like the problem with the story is that it's not a whole thing of, oh, here's an interesting world to kind of look into, because it doesn't pull that off. And then it's not a story about, here are these characters in this world, where the world isn't important because it's about all these characters, because they don't really develop the characters that much. They're just kind of there. Instead, it tries to be like a conspiracy thing, where there's something going on with the Order, and there's like rebels as well. But even that isn't really that interesting, because you don't really know that much about the world, and you don't really know many of the characters, because it focuses on the main 4. So maybe it's building up to a twist about them, but the game starts off by flashing into the future, showing that you're being tortured, and you've said, oh, you betrayed the Order. So I don't know, like, I guess that's supposed to be the intrigue, that somehow you're branded as a traitor, but you do start off doing like a load of traitorous things, so it's not that crazy. I don't know, I didn't think the story was that good. I think the setting was good, but they just didn't put it off. I'm summarizing here now at this point, because the gameplay also just didn't work. It's just, the shooting isn't that interesting, it does a lot of hand-holding. And there's like even the kind of cool stuff where there's a whole thing that when you pick up an item to inspect it, you can use the stick to actually physically move it in your hand, in the character's hand, so you can actually inspect it, rather than just hit floating. And also the character physically picks it up and holds it. It's not like you're looking in a menu. So when that first happened, I was like, alright, that's a pretty cool, nice immersive thing to do, and a way to do it, where you can just naturally, if you're curious about an object, you can actually look at it and spend time. But every single time you pick one up, it tells you, or when you pick up newspapers and things like that, it like tells you, you can use the left stick to have a look at this thing. You can press the triangle button to turn it over. And it gives you these prompts like constantly. Like I'm over 2 hours in, and then I had to come to a part where I needed to jump down. And you've had to do it like many times up to this point. And there's like a clear, blatant hole in the fence where you will need to jump down. You can just see it. You've done it many times. It's fine. And then it just comes up, press the X button to jump down to areas. It's just like, I know. And there's no option to turn off hints, because I had a look. So just constantly throughout, whenever you do anything that could potentially be like a gameplay mechanic or something like that, something to build from, it's really not. Because every time you do anything, it will give you the exact prompt of how to do it. And then, so there's 3 things you're doing in the game. It's either boring, repetitive, third-person shooting, following quick-time events, or anything different, you just follow the prompt or the hint on screen to do it. So you're not thinking at all. And it just makes everything a bit dull and a bit boring.
Did you buy the game?
No, I got it for free from work.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that wasn't 40 odd quid, empty, wasted.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a 40 quid purchase or 45. It's like no way that. In terms of the length, I mean, I haven't beaten it yet, but it doesn't feel like a short game. Like, apparently it's 16 chapters. I'm on, like, the 5th or 6th, and it doesn't feel that short. So I think that's just more people overreacting to it. Although I'll see how it goes. But I think the problems with the game isn't that it's short or anything. Because I'm in the 5th chapter or so, still got a lot to go, and a lot has kind of happened. So I think pacing-wise, it's fine or whatever. I guess it's just... The reason why a lot of people complain about the length is just the money aspect, and that's it. But it's not... I don't think it really impacts the game negatively, its length. But then again, I haven't beaten it, so I have to let you know next week.
Well, if it's long and boring, then that's a double whammy of bad.
I know, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm like, you know what, this is a bit dull. I'm glad in like 4 hours I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, let's just run out the clock.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's a shame.
But no, there's enough to it where it doesn't feel like there's enough. Yeah, there's like enough stuff to it. Like each chapter, you are in like a new locale, doing something completely different. Like there's chapter 5 is all on a big blimp. So
Blimps
that's
are cool.
But everyone loves a good blimp, so that's something.
Why are there no blimps anymore?
I don't know.
Why?
They're like inefficient, dangerous.
Yeah. Well, just because one burned down,
Allegedly.
doesn't mean that all of them had to stop.
I think they did.
No, just don't fill them with hydrogen or whatever blew up.
Yeah, it's hydrogen. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Because helium doesn't explode.
No, plus we're running out of that stuff anyway. So bring back blimps is what I say.
But there's no, like, they're so inefficient. It would be silly.
No. They're not inefficient. We are just too advanced.
Oh.
You see?
No.
Okay, neither do I.
Hot air balloons. There we go. Get on one of those.
Oh no, they suck. They're not the same.
No, they're fun.
No, they're not. No. Hot air balloons are a waste of time.
Oh.
Blimps are where it's at.
No, I wouldn't go for a blimp.
Did the blimp explode on the order?
Some fires.
Has it traumatised you?
There's a couple of fires in there.
Tasteless. That's what I say.
But yeah, so that's the order. It's like, I'm not saying anything that different, but it's just, I don't like it, because it's kind of like the worst of AAA gaming kind of summed up. Where it looks good and whatever, there's a lot of stuff to it, but it doesn't use its concepts well. Which is a shame, because it's like an original IP, and if you didn't like actually play the game or anything, like from the sounds of it, it sounds really cool. And it's actually really cool that a lot of money and whatever and investment went into a new IP based around like this alternative history sort of thing. So that's really cool. I really like that. So I wish I did like the game. So then more of this sort of stuff would happen. But it's just not good. And that's just the fact of it. Just because I want to see more new IPs like this from like Sony and Microsoft doesn't mean I can say this one was good.
Well, thank you for taking a bullet for me.
Well, that's fine.
In the form of the Order 1886.
There's no problem. You just went back on your promise, but it's fine.
Yeah, I do that.
Just let the world down sometimes.
I let you down.
Listen, this is why we don't have Graham nor get on our podcast, because we just can't keep to our word.
Graham's listened to these, and he's thought, I'm not getting involved with those lot.
He's just like a bunch of phonies over there. I can't
We
get
are
involved.
big fat phonies.
Oh, one of us is.
I'm a big fat phony. But a big fat phony with still a bit of money. There you go.
Still a phony with 40 quid not wasted.
I've got that £40 still in my wallet. Well, not really, but I would have. So there you go.
Go to a cash machine. Get it out.
I'll do it.
Make a point.
Right now, and I can flash my cash.
Just hey.
Oh. Is this bit of... Will this crisp packet do?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
What sort of crisps, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, they're not biscuits, so I shouldn't really talk about them. It's only
No, that's
biscuits I
fine.
talk about. It was Walkers.
Oh, cool.
It was cheese
I don't eat the Walkers.
Hang on, can I
anymore.
just point out on the crisps, it says
All right.
Walkers cheese and onion, fresh taste guaranteed.
Yeah, it is.
How can you guarantee a fresh taste for crisps?
They're sealed properly.
But well, I'd expect that anyway. Yeah,
You would hope.
fresh. It's the taste though. Fresh taste. What? How can I say? Oh yes, that cheese and onion is fresh. What does that mean?
It's just. I guess it's not the taste of cheese and onion. It's just the flavour of the crisp.
It makes no sense to me.
Well, the taste doesn't deteriorate over time unless it's past the best before date. I guess that's the brag.
Right. Okay. Well, they had 3 months, so they're all right.
Oh. Or maybe they're at the point where it's like Walkers are so iconic that people are buying them because they know the taste and love it so much. So we'll go like, hey, it's guaranteed that classic Walker's taste that you've grown to love.
Okay.
I mean, I don't
I'm
eat
still
Walkers.
unsure.
So.
Do you eat crisps at all?
Yeah, just not Walkers. Not Walkers, man.
Why?
I don't know.
What crisps do you eat?
I like a more interesting crisp.
McCoy's.
Sometimes McCoy's. I did have some McCoy's the other day.
Yeah.
I like a good Skips. A good bag of Skips.
Oh no.
What?
No. What about
Skips
Quavers?
are delicious.
Go with Quavers.
I like a nice bag of Quavers as well.
Yeah, Quavers is alright.
Quavers are tight.
You know what I haven't had in a long time? What's it?
Yeah, well, for good reason, right? Like, it's only when you're a kid that you don't care about being messy that you can just, like, ram a load of Whatsits in your face. And it's just
you could just open the bag and shovel them in, you know. But, like, you don't have to touch them. You could just put it straight into your mouth.
No, but even just, like, your teeth, it just gets everywhere. It just gets, like, mushed all in your mouth.
Let's be honest. All crisps are bad for your teeth. Come on.
Sure, but Whatsits, they just linger. Like a Walker's, that great taste does go. But
it's
Whatsits,
so fresh.
It's physically there in your mouth, like half an hour after you ate them.
The lesson is brush your teeth.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but
With
as a kid you don't care.
flavoured
But
toothpaste.
but now that, oh god, no. Ugh.
Oh dear.
That'd be the worst.
Yeah. Did you watch House of Cards?
Nope.
Oh, House of Cards is back.
You can talk about it if you want, but I don't.
There's not really too much to say. I just wondered if you'd watched it.
Well, is it good? The new season?
Well, it's on the series 3 now. I'm not sure how much to say because even saying anything about it will give big spoilers to season 2.
Well, I already know the end.
Well, maybe you do, but what about anyone else?
Oh, it's hard to avoid. Like, I've only seen the first episode, and even I know how it ends, because it just got put everywhere.
That's true, actually. There's lots of images of him in the Oval Office. Okay, so fine. It's pretty good. There's a clear increase in budget.
Ooh.
Which is from its success.
Explosions and guns and bang, bang, bang.
I'm hoping that will be the season finale.
Oh, okay.
But not quite. I'm still amazed at how interested I am in American faff. And now I know I said last week, I'm going to contradict myself here, because I said last week in about Better Call Saul that I don't care about all the embezzlement crap. That's true. I don't care about the embezzlement crap. I hadn't actually watched any more of Better Call Saul. I should.
There's only one episode.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Okay, good. Is that episode 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. But House of Cards is different because it's just so conniving. It's so satisfying to watch it. Because I was thinking about this as I was watching it earlier. It's a good writing because they always write out of something that you just think how they're going to do it. And they do. It's so good.
Hey.
I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say here because that's kind of obvious.
I think it would make more sense what you're saying if I had seen it.
Yes. But
unfortunately...
It continues to impress me. But that's... Oh. And here's the thing. Not even necessarily with Kevin Spacey. He's very good. We all know he's very good. His wife, Claire, played by Robin Wright, even better. She is so good.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a really good actress. And I think she's going to be sort of... Judging from these first 2 episodes I've watched, she's going to be the sneaky one that kind of creeps up and plays an even more important role, possibly. So I like how they're mixing it up a bit.
Especially the car chase at the end as well.
The car chase?
There's going to be the production stuff. They're going to do a car chase.
They're going to have a blimp chase.
Ooh, blimp chase.
They're going to have a blimp chase.
That's like the last 2 hours of this season. Like, I gotta get out of here. I'll take the blimp.
Yeah,
hot on my
it's
tail.
like real time. It's like an episode of 24.
Yeah.
We're slowly increasing in speed.
I'll get to safety in 4 days. Let's go.
There's not much to say. It's just I'm pleasantly surprised it's maintaining its quality.
Well, that's good, but if you think about it, season 3, like Breaking Bad and whatever, that's usually a pretty big season for a lot of shows. Like Game of Thrones as well, same thing.
I don't know how long they plan to do this for. I get the impression that Kevin Spacey is an actor with a little bit of
Money.
Well, he's got probably a lot of money, yeah. But also he would stop it when, I don't know, when the story feels right to end. I could be completely wrong. He could be a big sellout. But I'd like to think they don't drag it out unnecessarily.
Sure.
But then it is Netflix and
we don't know. We don't know with Netflix.
We don't know.
They've never been around to the point where they've ran a show into the ground. It just hasn't happened yet.
No. It's history in the making here.
Ooh.
And
like
another
what?
thing...
Yeah, go on.
...is the fact that they release all episodes at once.
Yeah?
It's an odd tactic, but I think it works.
What, do you like it? I don't think I've ever really experienced it.
Well, the only downside I could see is that there is more chance of it getting spoiled. But, if you play it safe and you read the right things and stay away from the wrong things, you'll be okay.
Well, you know what never gets spoiled?
What's that?
Delicious bag of Walkers,
no,
cheese and onion.
They
it's
are
guaranteed.
Fresh every time.
Never spoiled.
But I like the freedom. This is what people are saying when it comes to TV. It's all about giving the viewers the choice. That's where TV is heading, and I couldn't agree more. I watched an episode tonight, and one was enough. Tomorrow, I might want to watch 2.
Ooh,
who's to say?
That's craziness.
They might have such a good cliffhanger next episode. I have to watch another one, but I can choose that.
That's what everyone does, though. You may be like, you know what, 1 episode and then bed. But everyone else is, I'll go to bed watching this show all night.
That's fair enough. If they want to binge watch it, you can binge watch it and just watch it over and over again. But the choice is yours.
But don't you think, though, that I do like it, I guess. I don't know. I don't have Netflix, so I'm not too sure. But there's a whole thing where I kind of like it with being able to keep up with a TV show every week. And then... after you watch it all and go through it all and have that week gap in between each one, then you can after the fact when you rewatch it, you watch it all back to back and then you kind of piece it all together more in your head. So I think you kind of you miss out on that, being able to watch a show in 2 different ways where you're experiencing it as it comes out being fresh and then been watching it after the fact when you want to revisit the show. Because at this point you just watch it all. Even if it's not every, in a day, it's still over, a week you watch the whole show, when usually that would be over 10 weeks, and you'll get people talking about it and speculating, and then you kind of, get the community behind it or whatever. But instead it's just, you watch it all and that's it.
I ain't got time for that.
Oh, I see. I'm not saying it's bad, because there's other shows where it's I wasn't watching it. And then I binge-watched it to kind of catch up or whatever. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I don't know, I think there is kind of a nice experience to checking out a new episode of something every week. Because you can have the best of both worlds. You can have the whole check it out every week when a new episode is released. And then after the fact, watch it all. But with this Netflix thing, you don't have that choice. You just have to watch it all, pretty much.
No, you can wait a week.
You
can do what you want.
No,
you can. Waiting a week. You can absolutely wait a week if you want to. You could have Saturday evening even is going to be my House of Cards night.
Ooh.
It's all about willpower.
But You kind of want to be teased, though.
I can understand if you want that water cooler moment at the office, where it's like, oh, did you watch that last night? Blah, 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 blah. That's fair enough. But that, to me, that sounds a bit old-fashioned now.
Oh,
I think it's all about the tweets. OMG, hashtag Kevin Spacey.
But you don't get
see
that,
him?
though.
Yeah, you do.
Some people might talk about it, but no one's like talking about it every week. It's just like the whole thing comes out and people are like, yeah, that was a good season. And that's like about it.
I don't know. I'm finding. I go on Reddit and there's all the subreddits about things. There's discussions about episodes and stuff, and I think it's there.
Oh, I think it's there. It's just like there's something about a TV show being like, here's something awesome. Like, you know, the last season of Breaking Bad, when the whole thing with like at the end of one of those episodes with the gunfight or whatever. I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah.
And then it just ends. If it was a Netflix show, you would just click the next episode and be like, right, here we go.
Yeah.
But we had a whole week where we had to wait.
And it sucked.
No, it didn't.
It
sucked. It sucked in like a good way, though. It was like anticipation. You really wanted to see the next episode. It wasn't like, screw you guys. It was just like, oh, I can't wait to watch it.
No, I couldn't wait to watch it.
No, it's like but it's a positive thing. It like slows you down, but it's a positive. Because in the end, you get more of a payoff when you finally get to sit down and watch it.
Well, this is all very true, but we are basing all this on good shows.
Yes.
There could be a crap show. You wait for it, and it's crap. What about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you get the good and the bad, you know. It's life, you know, it's a lot like life. You gotta take your apples with your pears, as I always say. So if a good show's good, then having the week to wait is amazing. But if it's bad, then it's bad. So I guess with Netflix, you get less of the extremes. Because if it's good, then you just watch it all, but you don't have any anticipation, but you still enjoy it. But if it's bad, then you can just bail and it's fine. And then if the ending's bad, you can just be like, whatever, I just don't want to watch it, I'll watch something else. So, yeah, it's good and bad, but if it's a good show, then it can't help having it every week.
We'll have to agree to disagree with that.
Well, I'm not saying it's like bad that it's happening. I just don't want it to happen with all TV, where it's just all comes out at once. I think that would be a bit. I wouldn't like that too much.
That would be quite a. Yeah, I can't see that happening for a long time yet, if that was to happen.
Like 2 years. Like, they would give it 2 years.
What would the BBC do?
They would. BBC iPlayer all the way.
BBC iPlayer is pretty good, actually.
They would release all the episodes of Doctor Who in summer, including the Christmas one. It'd be crazy.
4OD, however, sucks.
Are they still like full of adverts?
Full of adverts.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
pretty bad.
full of them. Terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of unwatchable sometimes.
It is, because then I don't, oh, hang on, I want to go back and rewatch that bit. Oh, look, it's glitched up, and now I have to watch 5 minutes of adverts again. I ain't got time for that.
No,
that is what I ain't got time for.
You as an independent black woman, you're just busy.
I am busy, independent black woman. I don't need no 4OD.
No.
No.
I got my Netflix.
Yes.
But 4OD didn't used to be like that, though. 4OD used to be really good when it started.
It was like the first one to do it.
Yeah,
4OD.
you get like an advert at the start, and then maybe one at the end, and you can watch as much Peep Show as you want.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I was, because the one that put me up is that I watched the last episode of The It Crowd on 4OD, because I didn't realise they were doing one, and then it was out. I was like, oh, awesome, they did one last bonus episode or whatever to finish it off. And there was just, the adverts were just disgusting, like, just awful. Just like you would have like doesn't it come at like 1 out of 5 adverts played?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that must mean it's like over the whole course of the thing. But it's like, nope, it played 5 adverts back to back.
I mean, it tries to recreate the television experience to a T, and I don't want that.
Or it's just money, I mean.
Well, I understand they need to still make. They need adverts, that's fair enough. They can't do what iPlayer does because it's not funded by TV license. But how does ITV Player do it? I don't know. It can't be that bad.
Wait,
I don't actually watch anything on ITV, so.
Oh, ITV. Yeah, nobody watches it, I guess.
No one watches it, so nobody knows.
They have like 2 servers. It's like 50 quid every 6 months.
It's X Factor and Coronation Street. That's the only 2 shows.
That's it. They do good numbers.
Yeah, that's all they need.
I don't know. I think maybe ITV also don't like... Because Channel 4, they make shows, but then a lot of the stuff they show they like buy. Like they have a lot of the American shows. So there's probably a lot of stuff that you kind of got to figure out in terms of streaming it. Where it's a case of, okay, you can buy the license to show it on Channel 4, but then you also need a separate license for streaming and stuff like that. So I think their shows are a bit more complicated. Where ITV is just, they go to a bloody Coronation Street with some cameras, get some people to say some random stuff and call it a day.
Well, sadly that's true.
Yeah.
And then you get... See, I don't even know who's on X Factor now. Is it still Cheryl... whatever her name is?
Cole?
No, that's not her name anymore.
Oh.
It's Cheryl Tweedy?
Who? No, it's not.
It is.
Since when?
No, it's not. That was her original name, I think. Cheryl Cole. Her name is now Cheryl Ann Fernandez Fassini.
No, it's not. Joke.
Yes, it is.
Is she what?
She was
Where's
originally
she from?
Tweedy, then she was Cole, and now she's Cheryl Ann Fernandez Fassini.
Well, that's not very catchy, is it?
Not as much as Cheryl Cole, no.
No, it doesn't work.
And she's on the X Factor, so there you go.
Oh, God.
Oh,
No.
goodness. Who did she marry to get that name?
I don't know, but I know his last name.
Fassini.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know, he probably plays tennis. I don't...
Yeah, probably. Oh.
Listen, we can't talk about X Factor, though. I'm not having
No, this is games. Talk about games, goddammit.
Me? What, you having a go at me now?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Damn it.
Where's your notes? Come on.
Notes. Right, the order. Give
Yep.
that the old tickaroo. My pen's upside down. There we go. Tick. Well then. What else have I been playing?
Well, you know, the only answer that I'm going to give to that is nothing.
No?
I think you anyway.
Oh, what? So, Minecraft.
I haven't really been playing that much either, no.
What?
I streamed Saints Row, but that's it.
How did that go? I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was alright. There was a few technical issues that sucked. Delays on the audio. But apart from that, there's some good music. I mean, all of it is now muted on Twitch pretty much afterwards, because I had the radio on. But there's some good music on that radio station.
Wait, did you say Saints Row 2?
Yeah. The best
Yeah,
one.
game's alright.
It's a bit wacky. Very wacky. But fun.
Well, you know me and my open world games, so...
Yeah, but that was ages ago. That was back in, what, 2006?
Yeah.
You gotta give that one a break.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, you heartless...
Even back then, I was like, this is a bit...
No, see, that game had a good storyline to back it up.
Can't remember it.
Because you could choose the order you did the gangs.
Oh!
You had like 4 different gangs. It was like a snake one, the cobras, and then the skull one, and the
A snake one... What, a snake one and a cobra one, or just the cobras?
cobras,
Okay.
sharks maybe, the skull people, and one other, saints maybe. And you could choose the order you did them all, and they're all interlinked. It was really good. Really good way of doing it.
Whoa. Hey.
You
Oh.
lay off of Saints Row 2. Saints Row 3 and 4, you can bash that all you want.
Hey, oh.
Because they probably did suck.
Probably, I don't know.
That's it, really.
But no, it's like, for me, when it comes to the whole not liking open world games or whatever, the first game that made me think that was, Jesus, that was the one that made me be like, these are a bit dull.
But when? What year are we talking here?
When it came out,
Oh, get out of here. That's not right. No, that is not true.
How could
you not have been impressed by that game when it came out?
I just never played like a GTA game before, and then obviously this was a big deal when it came out. I was like, hey, I'll play some GTA. So I borrowed it off a mate, and then I think I got to the very end of the first island and was like, I have no desire to play this anymore. So I didn't.
But this isn't even in relation to the GTA series. What about gaming as a whole? That map was humongous and so detailed.
Well, I don't know.
I'll hold my hands up. I never played the story when I first played it. I just mess around.
See, I don't.
I copied
mess
someone's
around.
save file.
I don't mess around. So I didn't do any of that. I was just playing the story.
But the storyline's good as well.
Nah. I
Okay.
disagree.
Okay then.
But then it's like around the same time Metal Gear Solid 3 came out. And that was, graphically so much better. I remember thinking that San Andreas didn't look very good. And it really doesn't compared to games like Metal Gear Solid 3. And then also Metal Gear Solid 3 had a better story. It's unfair to compare those two games, but they did come out around the same time. So GTA seemed a little like, I don't know, just not that interesting. And when I could play something like Metal Gear Solid 3, it was kind of like, I'll just play that.
Well, I think that's kind of that shows how we like our stealth games and the separation there.
I didn't even like Metal Gear Solid 3 that much.
What are you trying to say then? Do you like these games or not?
I don't know, really.
You don't know.
I really don't. It was a weird time. These PS2 era times. Because it really was just Battlefront and Time Splitters. Like, that's all it was. That's all I played. Because it was like the whole thing of just going to a mate's house after school every day. And then we would just be like, right, Battlefront or Time Splitters. And then that's what we would do. Then when I would get home, I would play like other stuff. But it was just mostly those two. Like, I put so many more hours in than anything else.
Alright, well, I'm definitely not going to argue against that. They were very good games.
Yeah.
That sounds like a smashing good time.
It
Had
was.
by all.
And then when I just tried GTA, I was just like, this is it. This is the 10 out of 10 game of a generation. Because that's what you can look up a ton of lists.
Oh,
San Andreas get
sure.
like number 1.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. And even when people describe it, it's just like, well, yeah, it is pretty big, but it doesn't really matter. Especially at this point in time.
No, now at this point now it's all about nostalgia, I'd say.
Like Final Fantasy VII is the same deal. When I played that, it was just a case of it's supposed to be the best like RPG of all time. You play that game now, it's like you got to use the D-pad. It's ugly. It's really ugly. There's a lot of story, so you're just staring at all these ugly. Oh god, it's awful. But at the time, apparently, it was amazing. It was the best. I guess that's how people feel like Super Mario 64 and games like that. Because there seems to be a lot of people at the moment who say like Super Mario 64 has aged horribly and whatever. But I still can play it and really enjoy it. But then Final Fantasy VII, I'm like, that's ugly and I hate it. So it must be like the same thing for me. But for them with Super Mario 64 is what I'm getting with Final Fantasy VII.
Who's saying this about Super Mario? What age?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just a general thing that I've kind of picked up on recently. How a lot of people just like, yeah, it's ugly to look at. The camera is just horrendous. So I think there has been like some backlash against that game. So I couldn't name names, I'm afraid, but there has been some.
So you haven't left any more comments, which have started an argument on.
No.
Oh.
I haven't been doing that.
Oh.
I do enjoy that though. That is fun.
Yeah, I'd like to see you do more of those.
Yeah.
We can have a section on the podcast even.
Ooh, who I've argued with today?
I am eagerly awaiting.
I mean, I still get like comments saying "screw you."
What, you actually sick of me, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, that still happens.
Still?
Someone told me to go F myself because I mentioned Pokemon in my Digimon review. And you'll say like, F all you people, including Honest Tom 23, in brackets. It's like, Digimon is so much better than Pokemon. And I was just like, dude, you didn't have to name and shame me. Like,
Let's moan about comments, because I can moan about some.
Sure.
This is fun. This is what people want to hear, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, okay, my moan is about... mainly on the Destroy Humans, because that's like the main viewed one on my channel. I've got at least in the last, I don't know, maybe a few weeks, at least 2 or 3 that I've actually noticed. Saying things along the lines of, well, one of them was, Mark Luck, you're a douche. That's how it starts.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I mean,
I can't help it.
I don't know what I was thinking about with
but
that
they're all
comment.
along the same lines of, You should shut up. Okay?
Sure.
And I have the same response to these comments every time because I don't really get that mad. I don't really get that mad at comments. Because you just can't. By this point in time, you just can't get angry at them. So I just like to educate now. I've moved on to education.
Ooh.
And I say things like, let's play is a game. You play a game and you commentate. Now, you could argue maybe I talk too much. You could argue I talk too little. Depends. But there still needs to be talking. So I just say, go out and look for... YouTube's got millions of videos. Go watch another one.
Yeah.
And be done with it. I kind of want to get some "you actually sick of me" comments though.
They're fun, man.
They do sound fun. I had one about Simpsons skateboarding, but that was it, and I just got rid of it. So
again, I apologise about that. I mean,
yeah,
it's just...
I had a feeling.
Honest Tom 42. You suck. I hate you. Just like, who could this be?
No, but this guy was defending Simpsons skateboarding. You can't
it's a great
defend
game,
that game.
man.
No.
It's a quality title.
All right, end the podcast.
No.
You can't defend that game.
It's a lot of fun, man. I mean, it's a lot of good times.
I mean, you can't even defend Simpsons wrestling. I'm sorry, but you can't.
No, you can't defend that game.
That game sucked.
I don't think skateboarding was really that bad.
It was.
To the point where you could say you can't even defend it. I think wrestling is just because it makes no sense. And it's just weird and just not very good. But skateboarding, I think it's probably fine. I haven't played it.
Sucks. If you want to play a skateboarding game, go play Tony Hawk's.
Which one, though? There's like 10.
I never played Tony Hawk's. 1. No, 4.
Stop acting like you're a voice of authority on skateboarding games.
Go play Tony Hawk's.
Don't play the Simpsons skateboarding, it's terrible. Go play the Tony Hawk's.
Go play Ride, the one with the actual skateboard. That was great, I hear.
No, it wasn't. Everyone hated it. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
By the way, I'm going to say, don't play Tiger Woods golf. That game's terrible. Play the different golf games.
Play the Simpsons golf.
The Simpsons golf, yeah.
Why have they not made one?
Because golf's boring.
Yeah. Yeah, even more boring than skateboarding, actually.
Like, Mario's the only one that paid off, and even then it was, like, kind of close. Like, it could have been horrible. And no one else has dared to try it.
Yeah. Mm.
Although I think there's now like a specific company that I think Sony owns that makes golf games. It's like what they do. Like they made their own. I think they made everybody's golf that was meant to be pretty good, and now they're like set on to making a different sort of golf game, even though it's like just golf.
Oh, that's.
I might just be making that up, but I remember like seeing a company being like, oh, they put out a golf game that could actually got good reviews, and now they're making a different sort of golf game. That's not under the same banner, but it's still golf.
Can't get enough of those golf games.
Apparently not.
Churn them out.
The big seller.
Golf 2015.
2K15.
Yeah, what are they? Is it only Tiger Woods? What golf games are there?
I don't...
Is Tiger Woods still relevant? Where's
I
Rory...
think so.
What's his name? McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy.
Where's his games?
I don't think...
Oh, what's the one from The Simpsons? Where's his game? That needs a remake.
Oh.
What was that one called?
Oh, I could not. I can't...
It's Jack something, isn't it? Oh, I can't remember. Maybe it's not even Jack.
Putting.
Would you like to play again?
You have selected?
No.
No.
Jack Nicholls? Is it Jack Nicholls? He was a famous golfer, wasn't he?
There's Jack Nicholson.
No, he's the actor.
Oh.
You fool. Nick out. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
That speaking of that Simpsons episode, that was always one that like hit me pretty hard as a kid.
Why's that?
I'm not sure if I ever kind of mentioned it. I just like the idea of being like doing something wrong, but it just kind of being like a stupid like kind of thing, really. Like it, Bart steals the game, and it's bad, but really it was just kind of a slip of the whole I'm gonna take the game and whatever, and just being a dumb kid. And then the idea of making that sort of mistake and then being like shunned by your family, I don't know. There was just something about it as a kid that seemed really horrible.
I know what you're getting at. I think I maybe experienced something similar to that.
Because it's horrible, because it's like getting in bad trouble, but then after the fact having like pretty dire consequences to like, you're not a kid anymore. Then of course me being all little when I was watching it, be like, can I do something so bad that my mum is just going to be like, make your own damn food, kid. I'm sick of you.
People, yeah, I was reading about that episode, and some people, this was back when it first came out, so it was most of the time on the internet when these episodes came out, people tore them to shreds because they were used to them being good, and they were living the high life. Okay, and people moaned about that one. I think it was on Simpsons, one of the Simpsons boards, which is still going today, because they said it was so out of character for Marge. Like you say, like, no dinner, blah.
But it's still like, I would kind of forgive it, because really you kind of forget that Bart's the oldest. So in terms of Marge being a parent, the whole idea of that, there's a whole big thing with parenting, and that when do you like your kids not become kids anymore and have to let go, and it's like a different kind of part of parenting, where some parents or people are better when they're young because they can relate to kids, and then some are better when they're adults because they want to talk to an adult. So I guess it's like would be a new experience for Marge if we like talk to them as real people, where Marge like doesn't know, like she's still just kind of raising kids as a mum and trying to figure it out. So I think it's like an understandable thing, where Bart's the oldest, she's never had to like have that moment before, so I don't know, I don't think it's like that crazy or that unrealistic.
Well, yeah. It's really odd to think that you be in that time when all these great episodes come out and you can moan about them. Isn't that weird?
Season 7, oh god.
Gosh, sucked.
Come on,
by
guys.
the way, I googled. It's Lee Carvalho's putting challenge.
Lee Carvalho's.
Now enter the force of your swing. I suggest feather touch. You have entered power drive.
Power drive.
Ball in parking lot. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, how could you complain about that, man?
You can't. You can't. Lee Carvalho's putting challenge is a game I would probably better than The Simpsons wrestling.
Oh, snap.
Mm-hmm.
Suck it. Simpsons wrestling.
But not skateboarding.
No, that's great.
Because as you say, that's a masterpiece, apparently.
I don't know. I think you're being harsh because you couldn't.
Because I couldn't play it because I suck at skateboarding games. Yes, that's very true.
I wasn't going to say that.
You were going to infer it.
Now that it's out there, I won't disagree.
So am I gonna let that bias my opinion? Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am. It sucks.
Well, you don't have to like it.
I'm not going to.
I don't really like FIFA because I'm bad at it. If I was good at FIFA, I'd really like it, but I'm not learning the whole, if you hold triangle and then kick the... I'm not learning all that mess.
Here's the thing I don't get about FIFA. I try and play it every time friends come around or whatever, because they really love it. I don't understand why it remembers the button order you press. Because I just spaz out and, when I come up to play and I want to tackle them, I just sort of press all the buttons. Yeah? And hopefully, I just hope that the first button I press is tackle. But then, it remembers that I pressed B, Y, and A and B again. So then the player does some weird thing afterwards when I've actually done the tackle, and I lose the ball again.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's why I now just hack.
Well, that's one way to do it.
That is it there, yeah.
It's just, it is like a surprisingly complicated game when it comes to it. Like, it's not on the same level of fighting games, but it's still, like, kind of up there. Like, you gotta know, because you can be told all the buttons, and you will only know, like, a quarter of everything you can do. So somebody else will come along who's been playing this game for years, because at this point everyone jumped onto FIFA with the 2010 one, so it's been, like, 5 years. And then they will just do all this crazy stuff, and it's like, well, I can't get into this. In the same way that... Flips. Yeah, I can't do, like, flips over my head and scissor kicks or whatever, or just kicking the ball in a certain really precise way. So, like, in the same way that I can't just pick up fighting games and really be into them or like them because I'm not good at them, same thing with FIFA. I can't pick up and play it. Because it disguises itself as a pick-up-and-play game, but really it's kind of not at all.
And so they suck.
Yeah, they do suck. I mean,
that's what we're saying here.
That's very obvious.
Games that we're bad at, they suck.
Yeah, you don't have to like a game you're bad at. It's silly.
No.
And that's what my channel and my reviews have been all about. It's okay. I can say it sucks because I suck at it. It's fine.
So your channel slogan is, it's okay to not like things.
It sucks because I suck.
Yeah, there you go. It's even better. Yeah. Put down a t-shirt.
I could.
Okay. Money. Put money. No, there's only Trash Here podcast t-shirt.
There we go.
Get Graham wearing one. He'll be right on board. We'll have a party. It'll be great.
I'll send him one for free. A little bit of advertising.
Yeah.
He knows what to do. He'll show up and he'll be like, yeah, I know. I'll put this on. Help the guys out.
If he like maybe does like a live webcam of it, then he could possibly attract more buyers for this t-shirt.
Possibly. Although, as we established, he's a bit of a deadbeat at the moment. He's not really.
Hey,
now.
now.
Is gone. He's just not much.
He's working hard on The Simpsons Skateboarding 2.
Ooh.
Which I have insider. I don't know what they're doing.
When are they going to bring back the licensed games? We've been long enough into the generation that we deserve a few. Like, where's the new Simpsons game? Where's the new Bond game? Where's all the new licensed ones? Spider-Man game as well. I'll take one of those.
Oh, God, not Spider-Man.
Actually, there was one.
Yeah.
But I'll take another. That's fine.
Yeah, I would like a Bond game would be nice, yeah. Maybe they'll do it. Well, yeah, it might be a bit too late now. Yeah, it is too late.
What, for the new film?
Yeah.
Well, they could already be making it.
E3!
Yeah, E3.
Oh, when is E3?
June.
Then we'll have stuff to talk about.
Yes! Can't wait.
Oh, that would be
I'll
nice.
be super excited if they announced a new Bond game based on the new film.
Yeah.
Although the 007 Legends and the Skyfall one was really terrible. But the company that made it went under, so... Hey.
Yeah, fresh start. Woo.
Actually a really good company until they made that game, so...
Who was it again?
Eurocom.
What did they make?
Well, they made The World Is Not Enough, but they also made Nightfire, and then they made the GoldenEye remake, which was really good. And they've made some other stuff as well. Like, nothing, like, incredible, but they made, a lot of just good games in general.
And now they're gone.
Oh, they're dead.
So was that their last game?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
They made that, it didn't do well, and they got shut down.
That's yeah.
I'm gonna look
what
it
a
up.
note to end on for them.
Yeah. I think it was just rushed, though. I think that's what happened with that one.
In fact... Well, no, I'll wait for you to say that, because I'm changing the subject here.
Okay. Oh, Crash Bash. They also made that.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I praised them. Maybe I was a bit too quick to say they were so good. Oh. Well, they made Quantum of Solace on the PS2, which is meant to be the best version, which I have, but I haven't played. They made Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, okay.
They made Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for the Game Boy Color. They made Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
I'm sure I've heard some of these, yeah. Oh.
And if we go back further, let's have a look.
No, there's not.
Disney the Jungle Book for the Mega Drive. Oh, there we go. They had James Bond Jr. for the NES and
Junior.
NES. Their second game was James Bond Jr. and they ended up becoming like one of the lead developers on Bond. That's a bit crazy.
It was meant to be. Fate.
Yeah, then they died.
Star-crossed lovers.
Spyro's A Hero's Tale. Hello.
Hello. Can I bring the tone down a bit?
Oh,
Just
we're already
briefly.
pretty low.
Or lower.
Somehow lower.
Just because you're saying about that was the last thing they did, it just reminded me of Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, God.
Only because... Well, and actually now I've got something else to comment upon. But, so Leonard Nimoy passed away a few days ago. I think it's Friday. And it's very sad, because he's a cool guy. But people were saying about his last tweet.
Oh,
kind of
that's interesting.
About the whole, ending on what's the last thing. And this was his last tweet. Have you read it?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's, a life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had, but not preserved, except in memory. Live long and prosper.
Wow.
Okay? Then he died. So, that's a nice note to end on. But now I'm just seeing... I guess, his agent or his family or whatever have went onto his Twitter and now they're just retweeting all of, the RIPs. That's weird to me.
Yeah, that's... No, you
Wouldn't it have been so nice if they just left it on that tweet? Because that's the last thing he did. And now
that's weird. All the things he tweeted, all the pictures, whatever.
About his own death.
Yeah, and it ends off on everyone talking about him being dead.
That's wrong. That's one of those things that we still really haven't quite caught up with yet in terms of technology, is how we handle dead people on the internet.
I don't know for what purpose that would serve, though. Retweeting all the people talking about him dying. What purpose would that serve?
I know.
Why would you do it?
They're all fake. They're all like Patrick Stewart, Elijah Wood. I'm seeing Seth MacFarlane. They're all big people. Bruno Mars. They've, why? They're showing this to people. Don't do it again. Oh, that's really sad.
But the first time I saw something like that was when one of the... I wish I remembered his name. That's pretty bad, I don't. Like a Jew warrior, I believe he was referred to. One of the reviewers from that guy with the glasses.com. Because he shot himself.
Yes, I recall that, yep.
Yeah, and that was kind of a big thing with because he had uploaded so much to social media, so much in his videos, and then because he died, then there was a video clip of him during a stream saying something really nice about people, about being strong and whatever, just a general positive message, and then that kind of made the rounds. But it was him directly saying something. It's not like a fake sort of thing. It was a very direct personal sort of thing. And then people dug it up and that got retweeted. And just passed around. Which I thought was kind of a really cool way of honouring someone. Taking something like that and that's what gets shared.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, I think it's overall positive way to celebrate someone.
But I was saying about the whole technology thing because... Did you hear quite recently about what Facebook have done? They have...
Oh, they're making accounts where they become a thing.
There's a will, a sort of a cyber will. You can leave your account for someone to look after once if you died.
That's stupid.
Isn't it weird that we're at that point where that is necessary?
That's really stupid.
Well, we could argue if it's necessary, but they're doing it.
That's really, really dumb.
But we're at that stage, Tom, where people feel like they need to take over Facebook accounts.
Is that people, though, or is that just Facebook wanting to push more features? I don't think that's people.
I don't know. I feel... It's what do these families do when they realise that someone that they know is still on there? I want to be able to control that.
Would you?
Well, at least...
Surely you would just leave it?
I don't know. It's that whole thing about seeing dead people on the internet. That's just weird, isn't it?
Well, it's not. There's pictures of a ton of dead people.
Yeah, but in a social sense, though, I think that's kind of weird.
Well, people still will tweet pictures of or put on Facebook pictures of people who did die. In general, they won't. I think it seems with the idea of removing it completely. Being oh, this person's now dead, we've got to now remove all trace of them from Facebook. I think that's weird. Because the person, using an account is a really horrible thing to do. Because you're it was their personal account. I think that's horrible. But obviously the person isn't going to be posting anymore. So I don't think it's a problem. I think it'd be weirder to try and get rid of it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like it was theirs, they did what they did on social media, and it's kind of nice to have a record of everything they did. And I don't know why you would want to get rid of it. Because about 2-3 years ago, I don't want to get even more morbid, God, but I'll keep it brief. Where something did happen, where I knew someone who died, and they had their Facebook page. And then their Facebook page became everyone posting really nice stuff on it. So It was overall quite nice that people could have that. And people would just post random stuff. Obviously a lot of them would give the big whole paragraph about who they were and whatever. But people just from time to time would just be like, hey, just, catching in. Or just just a kind of a more simple one. So it was all kind of pretty nice to have. And I think that experience was a lot more positive than the whole somebody just takes over the account and takes it down. I think it's better that it's all kind of still up there.
Okay, well, that does sound kind of nice.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think you what about? All right, I think the reason why they're giving control is also because if I'm remembering correctly, it was you can't make new posts because then that would be kind of weird. But you can moderate things that are put onto the wall.
Oh, okay.
So, in case anyone was pure evil and just, put nasty stuff or something, you could maybe get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a crazy idea, although it does sound a bit too it sounds like a little bit too gimmicky for something like somebody dying. It probably does have really good positive applications, the whole idea of someone taking over an account, but it still seems a little weird. But yeah, I guess if somebody did start posting some horrible things, you would want to get rid of it, so I can see where they're coming from.
I guess the reason why they did that is because they must have had either like you say, they just want more control, but I reckon it's because they've got so many requests for people to take over accounts. They just thought, screw it, we'll just put it in the function. Which means that there's enough people on Facebook now, enough people that die who are on Facebook for that to be necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't. This probably is a positive thing. I just don't know.
Live long and prosper.
This is all very grim.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just go play some Crash Bash. That's what we really want.
Yeah, let's
play some Simpsons skateboarding.
No.
I didn't mean to make it more morbid.
Yeah, that's the worst. No,
that took it to a new level.
Rock
right there.
bottom.
Okay, how about Disney's Tarzan?
Yeah, sure.
They made that too.
Yeah, okay.
And 40 Winks. Do you want to play 40 Winks?
Does that mean I can sleep?
No, you got to stay up and play video games.
Yeah.
About sleep.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
ironic and cruel. Well, you haven't yawned once, so I'm very...
Yeah, that's true. I was yawning a lot. I've stopped now.
Yeah, no complaining. That's
what
I say. Right, anyway, so that's a podcast, I would say. So, what's going on your channel next week?
Nothing different.
Hey!
No, nothing different. Dig. Minecraft.
Well, there's no more QAs, so that's
there's no more QAs, yeah.
There's less content.
There's actually less, yeah. I've stopped that for a little while. Bring it back later on in the year.
So that means you'll be LPing a second game, that's what I'm hearing. I'm reading between the lines.
I might go back to 2 Let's Plays at some point. Maybe in the summer. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think it might be necessary.
I have that same thing too, where it's I'll do more stuff in the summer, but then really it's I'm not going to have more time in the summer.
Not anymore. We're not at school anymore.
Yeah, why? I have the same thing in my head, in the summer I'll do this and this. But it's no, when am I going to do it? In the winter I have tons of time because it's cold. So I sit indoors and I still don't get stuff done. So why do I think because it's sunny outside that it's all going to work out?
I don't know. It's like that thing about starting New Year's resolutions because it's the start of the year. You should just do it whenever. It's no, I'm going to have 2 Let's Plays now, but sometimes you just want a neat place to start.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is wrong.
It's wrong, I
totally
tell you.
Wrong.
But at some point, though.
Yeah.
Some skateboarding.
Well, yeah, little side let's play of that.
Confirmed.
You heard nothing.
It's going to be a 20-part let's play.
A 1-part let's play.
Not 100%.
No. Okay, that's it though.
Cool.
What about you?
Same sort of deal. The review came out, and it was like
King
a pretty
of Swing.
Yeah, it was a pretty simple review, so I don't have kind of much to say about it. Although I was kind of like on the fence about the score was something I put a lot of thought into, because I do it from the whole game that gets a 5 is still worth playing, and it's only under 5 where it's not. So based on my own scale to be consistent, I gave it a 5.5, even though it has a lot of problems, but it was still like decent. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that game, because it was pretty like a simple review. It was like a 3-hour game, so there's not that much you can really say. Apart from DK, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So Daxter's finished, but there is going to be a bonus part next week.
Ooh.
And then next week Red Dead should also finish, or at least the main story should. Or I'm going to just like try and burn through it. So I won't be starting a new Let's Play next week. It'll be a case of bonus part of Daxter, and then trying to get to the end of Red Dead by the end of next Sunday, which is possible and I should be able to do, but we'll see.
What are you doing next, Tom?
No, I don't know. I might go to the one Let's Play. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's just because like the reviews are just like, I think so many people have subscribed to me because of the reviews, especially in the last like couple of years, that it feels like I should probably just dedicate more time to them and make sure I get at least like 2 out a month, which I can do. It's just like maybe I need to like I've already said this before months ago, so I don't know. Like, I already have a game in mind to LP, so if there's another one that really sticks out, then I will go to 2, but I think I'll probably just stick to 1 for a bit, just so I can consistently get out reviews, because there was quite a big gap between Tie 2 and The Hobbit, which I don't really want to do again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got another question for you, which is going to be really annoying.
Okay.
So, by next week, by the next podcast, you will have your anniversary, right?
No.
Yeah, I think you will.
Nah.
What are you doing for it? What's the special going to be?
I'm sweating. Oh, God, have some water. I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
What, like last year was the watching my old first video? Because that was like the trend.
Yeah, any trend.
Which is weird, because it became like a trend for anniversaries to do that, and I jumped right on board, because it was very easy and fun to do. This year, I don't know. Because there's not like a particular game I could review and be like, hey, it's my special. And then I don't want to have to do a top 10 list, because I think they're a bit lame for an anniversary at this point.
Game theory.
I'm not doing it. Why? What are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're a crazy person. So it's just like, at this point, it's like, well, what the hell should I do? I don't want to do a top 10. There's no like game I could review that would be particularly special. So the only thing I could do was like play a random game. And even then, even that's not particularly special. It's just like I could play a game at any point. So I don't know. I've got nothing.
All I'm saying is there better be something. Else there'll be trouble next podcast.
Oh, snap.
That's all I'm saying.
We'll see.
Get thinking.
I'll just rip someone else off. I'll just do some searching on YouTube and be like, right, what's everyone else doing? Alright, I'll do that. That's fine.
You have 6 days.
What? Snap. I do. Smarch.
Smarch.
Bloody Smarch.
It's Smarch.
I can't believe it.
And with that...
Let's go home.
You better get thinking. We better end the podcast.
I will. I'm going to sit in my chair and ponder.
With your pipe.
My pondering pipe.
Yes. And rock. Gently.
My pondering pipe rock.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
With a deerstalker hat on.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Pondering pipe rock hat.
Get on it.
Right. Well, thank you for being here, Mr. McLuckable.
Thank you.
And, yeah, we'll see you next week for another one.
See ya.